If you've been sitting on the fence about buying or selling some real estate in the Okanagan Shuswap, this might be the update that gives you the answer that you've been looking for. I'm Lisa Salt with RE/MAX Vernon Salt Fowler, and we're going to dive right into everything that's happening right now in the North Okanagan, the Central Okanagan, and the Shuswap real estate markets for May of 2025. We've got some fresh numbers, we've got a few kind of clear shifts, and I'll tell you exactly what it all means in plain language as best as I can, so let's get into it. Now let's look at what the numbers are saying across all three regions. We're seeing stronger inventory. Sales are starting to show a little bit of a slowdown in some markets, most notably the North Okanagan and the Shuswap, just a little bit. So in the North Okanagan, let's start once again with the sell to inventory ratio, that absorption number, 16.08%. Still balanced market territory, although down slightly from April. Homes took about 58 days to sell on average, and the average residential price rose to $819,660, with the median price of $754,500, and the benchmark price now sits at $771,300. The most important number is that benchmark price. In the Central Okanagan, sell to inventory ratio was a steady 14.28%, with an average of 52 days to sell. The average price jumped to $1,150,234. Median landed at $1,015,000, and a benchmark price of $1,030,400. Now in the Shuswap, we saw a bit of a twist. We saw a 20.14% sell to inventory ratio. That's actually edging into a seller's market territory. However, saying that, homes still took an average of 67 days to sell. Average price hit $790,354. Median at $760,000, and the benchmark very close at $766,700. Now let's take a look at listings and inventory. New listings, 491 in the north, which was the same as last May actually, 1,369 in the central, down nearly 4%, and then 301 in the Shuswap, down 15%. The total active listings are growing in the north, 1,622 listings in total, up 9.23% from last year, so quite a notable increase. Central, 4,448 listings, up 11.17%. Shuswap, 1,058 total listings on the market, which is actually down, interestingly enough, 4.68% from May of 2024. So yes, more choice out there for buyers, especially in Vernon and Kelowna, little less actually in the Shuswap. Now let's talk Waterfront. We're well into the spring market now. We're getting very close to summer. So Waterfront listings are starting to roll in as usual. Year to date in the North Okanagan, we have 39 Waterfront listings, up from 36 this time last year. Central Okanagan is at 92, up from 62 last year. So once again, a huge increase in the Central Okanagan. Shuswap also has an increase with 60 listings right now compared to 52 last year. Now for Waterfront buyers, you've got a bunch more options. Waterfront sellers, it's time to make sure your property really stands out in the crowd. Now when it comes to Waterfront sales, it's a little bit different. So 8 year-to-date sales in the North Okanagan, up from 5 last year, 18 in the Central, which was up just a little bit, and 9 in the Shuswap, which is actually down from 10 last year. So while the inventory is up, buyers are still being fairly picky and slow to act on the higher end lakefront properties, even though in the North Okanagan, we did see some increases. So that's good for the North. Let's look at the sales. Let's look at the market activity. Here's where things got really quite interesting. North Okanagan sales dropped to 184, down almost 12% from same month last year. Residential sales for the north were 161, also down over 12%. Central Okanagan saw a slight increase in total sales, 477, up only 0.85%, so pretty much flat, with 450 residential sales up 3.2% year over year. In the Shuswap, sales dropped just over 5%, with 129 total sales and 106 residential sales. Residential sales were down nearly 9%. So what we're seeing is we're seeing more listings on the market, but we're not really seeing more action. Buyers are cautious, they're watching prices, and they're watching the interest rate trends. As we know, the central bank hasn't changed the interest rates the last couple of times. So month over month, sales were up. Year over year, not so much. So let's talk to you buyers for a moment. If you're considering buying, now's a really good time to act before more competition hits the market, more buyers looking, because of course in the summer, it's tourist season, more buyers come to the Okanagan. Prices are rising, but inventory is still strong as we've seen. Interest rates are holding, like we said, and while they haven't dropped significantly yet, really this year, the Bank of Canada is under some pressure. Further cuts are still on the table for 2025. And you've got options, especially in the waterfront and the luxury brackets. But the best deals are going to those who move before summer heats up. Just don't get caught chasing perfection. Focus on value and make a move while you still have leverage. Now, before we talk to sellers, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel as we're posting new videos like this every single week. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days or just curious about the area that we call home, be sure to call, text, or email and just add salt. Okay, sellers, what's up for you? It is no longer enough to just be on the market. Your home has to look great. It has to be priced right, and it has to be competitive. With the listings growing at the rate that they are and sales softening a little bit, you've got to stand out in the crowd. Pricing is everything right now. A few thousand off the top can mean thousands more in your pocket if it gets the right buyers in the door faster. Especially in the waterfront markets, buyers have options, as we've talked about, and they're shopping hard. So have your agent run the numbers on your exact neighborhood, we can do that for you, and your price band. Don't rely on just the general trends. So May gave us a very clear message. More listings, steady pricing, and a cautious buyer pool. Summer market is coming, it's right around the corner, but this spring is already heating up with opportunity. If you want a custom breakdown of your neighborhood or your property value, we're here, let's talk. Thanks for watching.